I'm a grateful recovering addict. My name is Marvin. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I am tired tonight for some reason. This is weather. But I still got energy. Boo-hoo, right? Never mind. I still got energy and I still have excitement. I still have joy. I still have peace. I'm still clean. And it's crazy because I didn't realize last night that when I was doing this tonight that I'm actually celebrating 43 months clean today. And I say that because it is important to me, and it's also it imparts hope to another recovering addict. But I had to put in some hard work to get to this place, right? And it's crazy because I was reading in the basic text earlier, a lot of times there's a lot of recovering addicts. We want the rewards of hard work without doing any other labor. So what that says to me is, this ain't gonna just happen. I don't get what I have by doing what I want to do. I get what I have by doing what I have to do. And one of those hard things that I had to do is, I love the fact that the steps are in order for a reason, right? We got the first step that we deal with the principles of honesty, acceptance, and surrender. And then we got the hope of the second step. We have faith in the third step. And then we have in the fourth step, we have courage. But the crazy thing about this is this. Even though I have courage, the underlying spiritual principle behind the fourth step, I love the fact that now that I'm about to do a searching and fearless moral inventory, there's some things I'm going to have to revert back to that first step to pull that spiritual principle of acceptance over with me, because there's some things that I'm going to have to accept, right? Which is where I learned that serenity prayer is so very important. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. There's a whole lot of stuff in my fourth step inventory, and I'm speaking on the fourth step because it's going to catapult us into the sixth step, right? Because 4 comes before 6, right? So anyways, I have to accept some things because there's going to be some things that come up for me in that inventory when I'm searching. And I got to be fearless in this thing, right? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be scary facing some of those old feelings. That's where the unmanageability came from for me. The thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions that I had based on where I had come through or what I had gone through in my own life, which the fifth step talks about the exact nature of the wrongs. And then I jump into the sixth step. So that fifth step, we're talking about the principle of integrity, right? So I'm going back to the fourth step. I've already accepted some things. I can't change this. And if I can't change it, what am I going to do? I'm going to let God change me, right? Because it's not so much that when we come to this program that life changes, because life doesn't change. In case we didn't realize that, life happens on life's terms. But what happens is we change in the process. And the process doesn't require permission for it to work. It just requires our participation. So the fifth step, I admitted to God, to myself, and to another human being the exact nature of my wrong, as I was able to identify some things in that fourth step. And I got the courage to actually say, you know what, let me start thinking about some things. Let me stop for a minute, because I know y'all like to hear me talk, right? I'm just going to read a little bit. That way you can't fuss with the literature. You can pick apart anything I say all day long, but as long as I stay in the literature, even if I don't care, I'm self-righteous. So we talking about the sixth step, right? Character defects. I'm just kidding. We've started the process of becoming entirely ready. And we will strive to increase our readiness throughout our lifetime. We will strive to increase our readiness. See, I'm careful. Well, I'm cautious. Because I understand that when I ask God for something, I watch out. Because see, the God, my understanding, he answers my prayers. So if I ask God to remove the shortcomings, guess what? Not remove the shortcomings, but to get rid of the character defects, guess what he's going to do? They got to come out. But before they can come out, they got to come up. But my part in this is that I got to be willing to surrender, right? Because I didn't surrender. I have to surrender all of those character defects to the God of my understanding. So when it comes up, I can't be like, catch it right here and take it back down. That's where a lot of us go wrong. So before it comes out, it has to come up. And as it's coming up, see, it's coming from that innermost place in my spirit, because these are spiritual principles, right? This is a spiritual, not religious program. So I ain't working on this. I'm working on this. So there's some things that I'm not going to like. There's some things I'm going to feel. But nobody said that my recovery had to feel okay in order for it to work. Nobody ever said that every day would be easy. But I do understand one thing, that my desire to recover is going to dictate how I recover. My desire to recover is going to dictate my attitude to each step that I approach. So with this sixth step, I didn't approach it with fear. Oh, I'm so scared of that fourth step. That fourth step, if you don't like the fourth step and you can't handle the fourth step, I promise you the sixth step is going to scare your ass all the way up out this room. I didn't come here to play with my recovery, and I damn sure didn't come to play with yours. Just saying. I need to know everything there is to know about me. And what y'all think y'all know, I really know about myself. So I'm willing to approach that step with all honesty, with all genuineness, with all sincerity, because the only way that I can become the best version of myself and the most authentic version of myself is to be just that, right? I'm neither good nor bad. I just am. That's something that I've learned by working spiritual principles. I am neither good nor bad. I just am. And because of the choices and the decisions that I make, the actions are either good actions or they're bad actions. But I've learned to look at me for simply who I am. The way God sees me, I'm perfect. Y'all like, wait a minute, how you perfect but you got character defects? I said the way God sees me, I'm perfect. So I got to learn to see myself the way that the God of my understanding sees me. I make mistakes, but I know how to quickly rectify the mistakes. That's down the 10th step. We'll be there in 4 more weeks. But anyways, we started the process, of becoming entirely ready. And we will strive to increase our readiness throughout our lifetime. It's a process. Our job is to become entirely ready. Entirely. Entirely means covering everything. You gonna paint the whole wall? You gonna paint the entire wall? No, I'm gonna paint a quarter of the walls. Are you gonna work on the entire spirit? No, I'm just gonna work on a piece of my spirit. No, I have to be entirely ready. I have to bring the entirety of who I am as a person to the God of my understanding, because he's either God in all or he is not God at all. Period. How you doing? Our job is to become entirely ready and to open our hearts and minds to the deep internal changes that can only be brought about by the presence of a loving God. Presence means something is there with me, or someone is there with me. A power greater than myself is always with me. The Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous is always there with me. That's a presence. I just feel a strong presence. That means something is there. I am never alone. So when I'm working this sixth step and I'm working on these character defects, I don't have to fear the fact that, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this by myself? Baby, I'm not alone. If God brought me to it, he'll take me through it. If I'm going to change and I surrender to him, he's going to point some things out to me, the stuff that I think I don't know that I really do know. I love when people say, I ask a question, it's like, why? I don't know. Stop saying I don't know, because we all always know. My memory may be foggy just a little bit, but there's nothing. I can only speak for me. Whenever somebody asks me a question about something, because of awareness, because of everything else that I've done and the work that I'm trying to do on myself and how much I love myself and how committed I am to my process, I don't create excuses. Why did you do that? Because I wanted to. Why did you go buy a hooker? Because I was horny. Why did you just cuss him out? Because I'm an asshole. I don't blame character defects. And let me get back to reading, because I'm getting ahead of myself. I normally do that, but anyways. And I lost my spot. No, I didn't. We've already had experience in the third step with what we must do now in the sixth step. Just as we surrendered our will and lives to the care of a power greater than ourselves, because we could no longer go on managing our own lives. God, I fucked up down here. I cannot manage by myself. I addressed this over in the first step. I'm honest. I'm accepting that, you know what, my thoughts, feelings, and emotions are all over the place. I can't manage shit. I ain't gonna say I ain't shit, God, because you created me. But I'm having a hard time down here. Can you help me with this? See, that's surrender right there. That's honesty. That's saying, you know what, God? But the funny thing is, when I ask God for help, get the hell out the way and let him help me. I can't stand. If somebody says, can you help me with something? And then I begin to help them and they complete the task. If you don't need my help, don't ask for it. If you don't want an answer, don't ask the question. We've already had experience in the third step. We now prepare to surrender our defects of character to a loving God. We have to surrender our character defects. I have to hold on to them like a security blanket if I want to. But I'm not hurting anybody but myself. We now prepare to surrender our defects of character to a loving God because we have exhausted our attempts to change on our own willpower. So I got to go back to the presence that's been with me the whole time that I tried to ignore. I knew it was there, but I was ignoring it because I feel like part of my character defect is I got this. I don't need your help. I'm independent. I'm a strong, independent brother, sister, whatever you want me to be. I don't need your help. I got my own willpower. Let me do it. Okay, well, keep on doing it then. How's it been working for you so far? Somebody had to ask me that. Thankfully, I had enough wisdom to stop and say, you know what? My best thinking is what brought me to this point. Now let me get to the exact nature as to how I ended up where I am, because you are not the reason why I ended up where I am. It's called personal accountability. And I was good at pretending like, I don't know how that happened. I was good at manipulating. I was good at being self-righteous, but let me shut up because I'm still getting ahead of myself. Our growing awareness. Okay, wait a minute. We now prepare to surrender our defects of character to a loving God because we've exhausted our attempts to change on our own willpower. No matter how many times I tried on my own to change, I couldn't. This process is difficult and often painful. That means it don't feel good all the time. Our growing awareness of our defects. Watch this. Our growing awareness. When I hear that word growing awareness, I think about a plant. It starts out as a sprout, but as it begins to grow, it begins to grow. It begins to bud. It begins to blossom. It begins to bloom. So as my awareness grows, and I'm aware of these character defects, I cannot unknow what I know. So if I know I'm a self-righteous, impatient asshole, once I know that, I cannot unknow that. And once I have the awareness of that, and I'm in a situation, because see, the funny thing about character defects being removed, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be put into a situation where one of those character defects is going to be tested. Because I prayed, God, I'm willing, take it away, God. Okay, I'm going to see how willing you really are. I don't pray for patience, by the way. This is just me. You can pray for whatever you want to pray for, but for me, I don't pray for patience. You know why? Because I was taught a long time ago, tribulation works patience. So when I'm praying for patience, I'm actually saying, God, give me some more trouble. This ain't enough. Patience is already in here. I want to operate in the patience that I already have. But if I don't utilize my awareness in the moment to tap into that patience, just because I can say something or just because I can do something doesn't mean I should. So when I'm on 95, and I promise you, I drive like a bat out of hell. Not because I have an attitude with anybody, not because I'm trying to get around anybody. It's because I feel like I was born in the wrong goddamn body. I was supposed to be a motherfucking race car driver, and I never got the chance to be a race car driver. So when I get in my car, I drive that bitch like I stole it. But I got it's in my name. I make payments. I jokingly say that I've always driven fast. That's the truth. You talk to my mom, she said, that boy been driving fast since I told y'all I only knew 2 speeds, fast and faster. I think I was supposed to be fast and furious, but they, cut me. But anyways, I don't flip people off in traffic. I just press my accelerator and go around. If they're boxing me out, I'm just like, now that's not to say I don't have those moments where I'll be like, I don't flip people off. I don't do that. I don't do that. Because I'm aware. It's like, I'm not giving you my power in this moment. Maybe God is trying to slow me down because there's a hazard ahead that I can't see. I've reframed the narrative around these things. So something that used to, now trust me when I tell you, I used to cuss everything and everybody out in traffic and didn't care, and then would pull up at the stoplight beside you and talk more shit than a little bit. Didn't care. True story. I got to give y'all one drug story because I never tell y'all one. So I'm going to give you one. So this one morning I was working in Charlotte, North Carolina. I worked for a bank that shall remain nameless, Bank of America. But I remember I thought I was a functioning addict, right? So this morning I had, my drug of choice, whatever. I don't know how in the hell I did this, but I woke up and I had to drive an hour to get to work. And this is not interstate driving. This is country roads, back roads, 2-lane highways till you get to a 4-lane bypass, not interstate, a bypass, till you can get to the interstate, right? So it was a lot of traffic. Charlotte is not exactly a small city. They call it the Queen City, so I had to go, where the queens were, right? So anyways, this one particular morning, I'm headed to work on Independence Boulevard, and I was jacked the fuck up. And this dude just cut me off like I wasn't there. Anger. Y'all laughing, but we're getting somewhere with this. Anger. I was triggered, and I had that liquid courage, it wasn't liquid courage, but it was some courage. But I always keep courage. I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. But I don't know what I was thinking in this moment. In traffic, this dude pulls in front of me, cuts me off. I zoom around in traffic, get back in front of him. I'm letting my window down to say something. He ain't looking. Before I know anything, I'm opening my door in rush hour traffic. I'm too cute to be getting hit. And I'm about to go, we getting ready to go toe-to-toe in rush hour traffic. My mama watches the news. She gonna see the news. Oh, Lord, his character defect, I'm flared up. But see, I don't act like that anymore. You know why? It wasn't even about the drugs. That was all me. I got triggered because of something I felt in the moment because I didn't understand the exact nature of my disease. I didn't even understand the damn disease because, see, I was still an addict who didn't even know he was an addict. I didn't care. I just knew I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight you. I wanted to fight you, and I wanted to fight you. And I didn't care what I was fighting you for, and the reason I didn't care what I was fighting you for because I didn't know what the fuck I was fighting you for. I just wanted to fight. But actually, part of the reason why is because being gay and black from South Carolina, you think I'm a punk? Let me show you. Don't get it twisted. Don't let these contact lenses in the small frame fool you. I always felt like I had something to prove to other people. And I could resort to violence or cussing you out. And I could be nice and nasty with my tongue, too. Sometimes I didn't have to throw hands. I just threw my words and let the words speak for me. When I knew I got you with them words and backed your ass down, I ain't care if you were damn Kimbo Slice. I knew how to say what I needed to say to let you understand. You think I'm a rattlesnake over here just shaking his tail? Roll up on over here. Roll on. Character defect stems from anger. And sometimes it stems from fear. Because I just knew, oh God, if he hit me, he's going to knock my ass out. But you know what? I swell up as... I get out of air in my chest. Boy, you going to get a fight. You might whoop my ass. But I promise you going to have to whoop my ass. You going to have to whoop my ass. You going to have to damn near kill me because... I don't go out like that because, see, I got a mama. I got a black mama that if you lose a fight, you going to lose 2 fights because you going to lose the fight you were in and then she going to fuck you up when you get home. I don't play that. So anyways, character defects. I'm getting to the exact nature of my wrongs. I was in a mode of fear. I was in a mode of, I felt like I was disrespected. Those resentments came back. The anger because I felt like I wasn't seen because you're looking at me. You're thinking because I'm gay or that I'm black that you can do this and you can do that. They wasn't even thinking about that. I was. And I came in here just like that. Ready to fight everybody. Ready to throw chairs. Ready to throw hands, throwing cuss words, big cuss words, little cuss words, made up cuss words, new cuss words, old cuss words, abundance-ified cuss words, gayified cuss words. If it sounded good, I said it. I didn't care. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. Need to keep all the mind that I can have because I don't need to be giving none of it away, right? And I learned something over the time. I started trusting the process like I was told to do. And something started happening. And the reason I know it started happening is, number one, I noticed it. Number two, people started noticing it. How many of you know you can't come in being a hellraiser or a hellion or a minion or whatever you call it, a hoodlum, a gooligan, a goblin, or whatever it is. You can't start to change and not have people notice the transformation. Remember I said if you plant a seed, a flower, it sprouts, it blooms, it buds, it blossoms. And that's what recovery does for us. It gets planted. And as we work the spiritual principles, not write answers to questions on a piece of paper, as we allow the spiritual principles to work and we have a genuine desire to recover, see, this is good fertilizer. So what happens is we begin to sprout. So that defensive nature that I came in here with, slowly but surely over time, through awareness and practicing acceptance and honesty and surrender and courage and, oh, look, teacher, I'm doing good today. Oh, my God, I started changing. And people are like, oh, my God, you know what? You are not the person you were when you came in here. So that leads me to saying this. I'm going to try to wrap this up. Our growing awareness of our defects often causes us pain. It didn't cause me any. We've all heard the expression, ignorance is bliss. But we are no longer ignorant of our character defects, and this awareness hurts. Let me put a pin in this. We are no longer ignorant of our character defects, our growing awareness. So what that's telling me is the longer I am in my recovery, I have 43 months clean today. If I have, not if, because this is going to happen. This is my speaking, my declaration, my affirmation. This is me, how I talk to me. 2 years from now, I should have grown in more awareness of the character defects because I deal with the old ones, and when they want to come back, I address them promptly and handle those. But for me, once the God of my understanding removes the character defect, it is removed. What remains is the memory of the defect and the behaviors that I used to practice when that defect popped up. Because if God removes something, it's gone, baby. Either you telling me the truth that God can do his job by removing the defect, or you saying he's not as powerful as we think he is, and maybe he got all of it, maybe he didn't. Maybe the doctor did open heart surgery, and maybe he opened my whole heart up. Maybe he didn't. I don't need a maybe. I need to know that this is gone beyond any shadow of a doubt. It needs to be gone. And I'd like to believe if I put my trash on the curb, when the trash truck comes by and they take the trash away, it's gone because it was removed from the curb, right? They take it to a landfill, incinerator, whatever. The only way that it can come back is if I go where it ended up and I resurrect it and I bring it back. But that takes effort on my part to do that. It didn't mean that God failed in what he did. It means that I held onto the memory of the behavior of how I used to act out, and I went and resurrected this thing because old pain, familiar pain, is comfortable to me. And I had to become aware. My growing awareness of my own defects caused me to stop being so self-righteous. I catch myself all the time. And I understand where that came from, too. You know, I'm the first of my family to go to college. And, you know, I always had people that were like, you don't know this and you don't know. Don't ever tell me I don't know something. I used to live for it. Challenge me. Tell me I don't know something. Even before I had Google and Siri and, I was about to say Geary, Google and Siri and Alexa, even before I had any of them, I knew what I was talking about. And I hated if somebody said that I didn't know something because you were calling me a liar and you were insulting my intelligence, and I was taking it personal. I used to take things so personally, and I'm not so refined in that area yet. That's a defect that I'm very aware of, and I still struggle with not taking things personal sometimes. It ain't because God didn't remove it. It's just because I remember. That's all that is. But I choose not to be an asshole when I take things personally. I sit back. I practice the pause. I've learned, push pause. Don't press play. Push pause. Now, back in the day, fast and faster. Remember that I was fast, I was furious, and I was even crazier. I have to practice the pause. You do not want me push and play. So if you ever see me and I get to that point and I'm like, I ain't really saying nothing, people that know me know when something's going on with me. But I have to be quiet sometimes because I don't want to hurt anybody. I learned that by working the 8-step. That's 2 away. But anyways, I don't want to cause harm to myself, and I don't want to cause harm to anybody else. I don't want to have to create any other reasons to have to apologize or amend my behavior, because the best apology is change behavior in the first place. So the point that I'm trying to make is because I have a growing awareness of my character defects, 2 more years, baby, I should be more refined than I am right now. When I have decades clean, I shouldn't be walking around here as a miserable old miser in these rooms. Because if hope is something I'm supposed to be giving away, you mean to tell me this is what I got to look forward to? I'm going to get me a bag of crack and I'm going to smoke that shit now. If that's what I got to look forward to, no. No. There is no reason No excuse for me not to continue to grow into the knowledge and the awareness that these character defects, the same way that they worked on me when I was in active addiction, if I'm not vigilant over my recovery, these bitches can slide right back in and take me the fuck right back where I came from. So my job is to come in here from day one and to recover through awareness, practicing these principles, applying them in all my affairs. If I'm not applying the principles in all my affairs, I need to change my affairs. But I got to be true to this. I cannot ever be new to this. I have to live this day in, day out. I have to do it for the rest of my life, and I have to be okay with that. And guess what? I am. And that's why my gratitude is where it is. And that's why my joy is what it is, because I don't have to change. I get to change. And when I look at myself now in line to who I used to be, man, I tell you, I want to see how far I can go. I want to see how long I can stay. I want to see how many lives I can change. I'm spitting all over the place. How many lives I can touch, how many lives I can impact, and just how much more of a better person that I'm going to be. Because the one thing I always feared, I don't fear much, but one thing I always feared is, you got to remember, I'm a Southern boy, not a Southern Baptist, but because black people in the South, we're not Southern Baptists, we just missionary Baptist, Pentecostal Holiness Baptist, Pentabaptical. I mean, we got different whatever. But anyways, I was always afraid of going to hell, and I was always afraid of dying and being forgotten and not leaving a legacy. I refuse to leave this earth and not leave my legacy. So whenever I'm asked to speak, whenever I'm out doing, my arena is out there. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to come and share in situations, in events, and meetings like this. But I love it out there even more. I do stuff that I don't have to talk about and I don't want to talk about. The God of my understanding sees, and the reason he sees, because it's things that when God touches my heart to do something, I've learned to listen. Because I had to listen to learn. And I'm okay with me now. That's where my peace came from. When I'm about to act out on a character defect, that awareness kicks in real quick. And it's so funny because I hear God's voice to be like, Marvin. I be like, can you let me get him just one time, God? He's like, no. Because see, I'm an ambassador. I'm a representative. A representative means I'm representing somebody else. Ambassador means I speak on the behalf of. That means I got to carry myself the way this person carries themselves. You can't connect with me if you acting a damn fool. Now, we could be crazy, clean but crazy, like I plugged that. February 4th, clean but crazy, $15, Snyder Park. See Christy for tickets. But anyways, I love this way of life. It's nothing to play with. When I show up, I'm remembering a commitment that I made to the God of my understanding. The God, if you deliver me from this darkness, I promise I'll follow you. Even if that means when I get to that sixth step that I knew nothing about. I didn't come to NA entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Hell, I didn't even know anything about the steps. And if I knew nothing about the steps, do you think I knew anything about defects of character? No. But I knew something about willingness. I knew something about willingness. I knew it was something about coming in here, watching a bunch of people who talk about this program that has the power and the ability to change my life, and I bought in. So when I heard that an addict, any addict, I said, oh shit, now you talk me? I'm one of the innies. I'm one of the any, many, mighty mo's. I'm an innie. You're an innie. But I got an Audi. But anyways, and I drive a BMW. How you doing? I'm an any addict can stop using drugs. That made my heart happy. I'm about to cry now thinking about it. Because y'all don't know, I was at the end of my road for real. I did not want to keep going. I could not keep going the way I was going. My tank was past E. And it was nothing but the grace and the mercy of God that kept me. Because I should have been, I ain't gonna say I should have been, because if I should have been, I would have been. But I was tired. So when I made that commitment, that promise to God that if you deliver me from this darkness, I promise I'll follow you. I didn't consider what the sixth step was gonna look like, because I didn't know. I didn't consider anything about NA other than it has to help. It was not, I hope. It has to. This is it for me. This is the last motherfucking stop on the block. And this is the last block that I intend to ever visit because I don't want to live like that no more. So I go hard for my recovery. I've been doing it since day one, and that has not changed. But the message, an addict, any addict can stop using drugs, lose the desire, and find a new way to live. The message is hope. The promise is freedom. Lost dreams awaken. New possibilities arise. And when I look at myself in the mirror today, I'm grateful because I finally awakened and I finally arise. I'm a grateful recovering addict, Marvin. Thanks for letting me share.